Carl5. So, gonna do that video that I promised you. This is actually the second attempt to make that video. So, a couple of things I'm gonna make sure I put into this video here is the thing that makes Carl5 and myself, what brings us together is two, maybe three different things. Thing number one, we are both, or were both, Ford owners. I've owned a few Ford cars. I've loved each and every one of my Ford cars, including the Mustang, which unfortunately did not make it. But every moment I had with this vehicle, almost every moment, was a joyous event. It was just a great thing. Carl5 and I, we talked about our Ford thing. Carl5 and I also talked about these guys here. He witnessed the purchase of both of these little vehicles here. This is the Ford GT. Wow, took me a moment there. Even though it says it right here, GT. This is the Ford GT. This is the original GT. And this is the latest and greatest GT that just, they've been rocking on the planet for quite some time now. This is a very awesome machine. There's one catch to this here, or a caveat, as my coworkers like to say. It's a caveat to purchasing this vehicle here in the full size. That caveat is Ford did not want people to purchase this and allow the vehicle to just sit around. They wanted this vehicle to be driven. They didn't want it to sit in a warehouse and some super rich person, billionaire or whatever, is just holding on to this vehicle, and that vehicle never gets any real driven road miles. It just collects dust until a mechanic comes over, turns it on for a couple minutes and turns it off, and then whatever. That is what Ford did not want for this vehicle. They wanted people who had the money, because you had to have the money, because this is a $400,000 car, the full version of it, not this. I think it was $400,000 to start. And then you would have someone come to your house, or they would mail the box to you. And inside of the box would be the color schemes, and you picked how you wanted your color scheme, whether you wanted stripes or not, whether you wanted that tack blue color with orange stripes on it and the big white circle on the side doors. It was a whole customization thing that they left to the customer, which I think was really, really nice. But we talked about this. Now, as I'm talking, I want you to know there's a car chase right next to me. And that car chase, that is a Dodge Charger. That is a Dodge Charger catching up to someone doing 120. I'm giving you a little bit of entertainment while I'm talking. And what's going to basically happen over here is you're going to see the SUV be in pursuit, and then all of a sudden, the SUV is pulling back. The SUV is going to pull back because he realizes, I don't have the weight. I have too much weight. I don't have the engine capacity to actually catch up with this here person in a convertible, whatever. And you know what? The SUV cop calls the Charger to go attack him like a dog. And he just comes after him like, and you can just see that gap closening and closening. And you'll get it. You know what I'm gonna do? At the end of this video, I'm gonna play the whole thing because it's hilarious to freaking watch. But let's get back on to Carl5. This is a video that you wanted me to make for you, because you have something that I don't have. And that is time. There was a movie called Interview with a Vampire. Tom Cruise tells the other dude, the reporter, I'm gonna give you the thing that was never given to me. And I watched that movie 4 or 5 times before I realized what it was. That thing that he gave him was the choice to be a vampire or not to be a vampire. And also the choice to see the sun one more time. Time. That's the one thing that you have that I did not have. When I bought my Mercedes, my luxury car, I didn't have the time to sit there and figure out exactly what I wanted to purchase. I wrecked my car a couple of days before a business trip. I got a BMW 35X. Dude, that is a badass car. It was amazing, and that really went into my brain, looking at that in my garage, seeing that in my garage, and it changed, and new folds were being created in my brain, and my brain has never been the same since, because I said to myself, I deserve a luxury type vehicle. I deserve heated seats. I deserve everything that's in this vehicle. I want that in my garage 24 hours a day. So 1 week was wasted on a business trip. That car sat in my garage the entire time. Very, very ticked off. I'm over here in Buffalo. You know what I'm doing in Buffalo? I'm freaking, trying to do my job, but I'm distracted. Because I didn't pull out my tablet. Oh, God. I done pulled out my tablet. I'm over here working all over the freaking place and everything. You know what I'm doing on my tablet? I'm over here trying to figure out exactly how much one of those freaking vehicles cost me. How much will it cost me to be able to see and feel that experience? $40,000. I puked in my mouth a little bit when I said $40,000. I just cannot pay $40,000 for a car. The most I've ever paid for a car was $25, and I didn't want to do that. And I'll never do that again. So I tried never to do that again. So let's talk about what you need. Get serious. Let's talk about what you need. First thing you need to do, no matter what you get for a freaking car, AUTO, there we go, Auto Trader. And I'm gonna record what I'm doing. Safety is the most important thing. The very first thing you need to do when you get this vehicle, whatever it is, change those tires. When I bought my car, I had to go for the cheapest thing that I could find that could possibly last a decent amount of time. And I found a vehicle for $4,000, all-wheel drive. It's a Mercedes. I know. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna talk, and I'm gonna be over here displaying what I'm showing over here. So I'm gonna do a quick search for a car. The very first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change it to, I don't care about the color. I do care about the engine. You said you wanted a V6. Now, let me be the first one to tell you. A four cylinder can keep up with a V6. Because right now, nobody cares about V8s. A V6 can do that same thing. Really and truly, it can. A four cylinder cannot do the same thing as a V8. But what do you want? Do you want the car chase? Or do you want torque? If you just want torque and horsepower, you can get that out of a 4. You can definitely get it out of a 6, but I can guarantee you, unless it's a turbocharged 6 or something like that, or some fat 6, it's going to be decent. You're not going to be in the car chase and actually win. And besides, you're not really doing the car chase in the first place, right? Now, next thing I'm going to go for is transmission, automatic. Dude, there ain't no reason. I don't care what our other co-worker says. There's no reason to have a stick shift. It's the year 2020. I wish it was 2021. It's year 2020. There's no reason to be doing this. And I don't even know why he even has a freaking stick shift anyway, because Nissan has that smooth running transmission where you don't get a chance to hear it shift. So it doesn't make sense that he has a stick shift vehicle. George, why are you doing that to yourself, to your left foot? Clutch, no, I ain't doing that crap. I would never get over having a stick shift. It was the worst experience ever. But I learned. Now I can probably drive a motorcycle. Now, you also said you wanted all-wheel drive. Now, the reason I showed you that car video over there is because more than likely, this guy had a V8 Charger with all-wheel drive and was able to just prowl and catch up with this guy. Police package cars are the bomb. They really and truly are. They are the bomb. Mainly because the seats are usually Kevlar, so you don't get stabbed in the back. At the same time, Ford police package vehicles all come with, and they're usually Ford Tauruses, they come with all-wheel drive. Think about that. Consider that, because remember, you're technically driving a Ford Taurus right now. The Ford 500 is the Ford Taurus, just a different label. So I've geared this whole thing up for four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, a V6, and I'm going to throw in a price range. Where's my prices? I'm going to put maximum $8,000. There we go. We got our search. We got it going on. So the very first thing that you see is, SUVs. I got to go back. Type style. Yeah, change that to sedan. Because you and I, we also think alike here. Neither one of us wants an SUV. We both want sedans. So in my first search, the very first thing that I'm seeing here is an Audi. Don't go for an Audi. Well, okay. I can't say don't go for an Audi. My knowledge of Audi is very limited. I know Audi, their cheap car is the Volkswagen. I know people who love Volkswagen so much that at least one chick tattooed it on her body. I was like, is that your foot? Is that a Volkswagen? Why do you have a Volkswagen symbol on your foot? And you know what she said? I love my Volkswagen. It's the best car ever. I will never buy any other car because Volkswagen is the bomb. I'm like, whatever, girl. Anyway, people love their Volkswagens. People also love their Subarus. I personally only like one Subaru, the BRZ. I think it's very mechanical, very machiney, and I don't think it's practical, any of the Subarus. Because all of the Subarus that are worth having are stick shifts. Again, we're doing this. Do you really want to do this while you're trying to drive? No, you don't want to do that. Stay away from Jaguar, because the Jaguars that you can afford, and this is not me trying to throw you down or anything, the more expensive brand new Jags that are out there are awesome, but they're, for a tiny little SUV, it's like $80,000. Think about that. That's too expensive. And the Jaguars that you would more than likely try to get your hands on are basically Fords, because Ford had their hand inside of Jaguar for a while. That's the reason why the cars look the way they do. I do see a Mercedes. I'm going to talk about Mercedes in a moment after I talk about BMW. Look, BMWs are nice. As far as I know, the M series is their performance vehicle. BMW is better than Mercedes because they tend to have their manufacturing process on lockdown. So you could get a BMW, disassemble it, reassemble it, and it'll be a good car. Mercedes is not the same way. Mercedes is very mechanical, very machine sounding, very just grindy mechanical machine. It's weird. Both have similar engines, but BMW tends to have less problems, except for the 500 series. BMW has a 300 series that's easy to get your hands on, a 500 series that's easy to get your hands on. But if you get a 500, some of them you will have some electrical issues. You will have some stupid issues that will make you hate the car. And then there's a 700 series. Now notice that I'm going odd, because all the odd numbers are 4 doors, sedan, what you're looking for. All the even numbers of the BMW are coupes or convertibles. So that 435X that I had, that was actually a hardtop convertible. Very, very beautiful. Love that freaking car. Loved it. Hang out. By the way, this video, people are gonna hate this video because I am just yapping about a whole bunch of crap. I do see a used Ford Taurus 2008 for a little bit under $4,000, and I also see a Lincoln. Now, I see a BMW 328X for $4,000. Now, that is not a bad price. That's not a bad price. I'm gonna click on that one there. That is not a bad price. There's only one catch with this here. This is a 300 series, and last time I checked, you were a tall guy. It may have a smaller seat. If you have a big butt, I don't know if you have a big butt. I ain't never looked at your butt. But if you have a big butt, you may have a problem sitting in that seat. You need to check it out yourself. Speaking of seats, we had the discussion already. I want to remind you, look into the seat of the vehicle. If the vehicle has 100,000 miles on it, that means for 100,000 miles, someone farted in that freaking seat. When you fart in a seat, a little bit of moisture comes out, you got heated seats, that seat's gonna bust at some point. So look into whether or not that vehicle has had, been repaired, or is it kind of saggy? And you'll see that. I think one of the Cadillacs that I looked at not too long ago, it actually had like a little sag because, there was a fat guy sitting in there and he kind of stretched it out a little bit, but that's okay because it still fits his butt. I think the Mustang seat was maybe a couple of inches too small for me, but because it was a bucket seat, it still kind of hugged me and felt really, really good. I never had a real problem out of driving the Mustang, even though I think it did somewhere in the paperwork or whatever, in the manual, they were talking about the size of the seat. But never mind it. We just finished talking about Volkswagen. We just talked about BMW a little bit. If you do get a 300, it's okay. You're going to get about a 300. A BMW 300 series is going to have 200 or more horsepower. You'll be happy with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Do you want to do some customizations on it? No. Keep the engine as it is. Don't mess up the engine. What do you want to do when you're inside of the vehicle? Sniff. What does the car smell like? If the car smells like they put perfume in there, they may be trying to hide a car leak. There could be a structural problem where it was damaged and they patched it up, and after they patched it up, they didn't do a good job. Hang on a second. I gotta do a time check because I actually have to be to work today. Okay, it's only 12:50. Cool. We're good. You need to make sure that that vehicle is as tight as possible. Should you buy a vehicle that has been wrecked? Possibly. If it has one wreck, if you can try to find some pictures of where it was damaged, and then try to figure out, look under the vehicle if you can, look into the framework, check out those edges on the side, make sure everything is good, you may be able to find an acceptable vehicle that you can run with for a few years. My whole thing is, if I pay $5,000 for a car, I want 5 years or more out of that vehicle. I put down $4,000 on my car and then threw a few extra dollars on top of that. But I want my 4 years plus out of that vehicle. This is my way of saying, try your best to get a good deal. Your Ford Fusion can come in an all-wheel drive. They charge a bit more for that, but it can come in an all-wheel drive if you want it to. So, I've already talked about Audi, I've talked about BMW, even threw a little bit of Ford in there, talked a little bit about Volkswagen. I hope I didn't repeat myself. Volvos? No. It's just something about the Volvos that throws me off. I think it's too grandpa-ish. Without a lot of body, it's still grandpa-ish. Now let's talk about Mercedes. I spent a lot of time investigating what I should get during that time period, so I had to give myself a crash course on Mercedes. BMW's Performance Series is going to be M Series. Mercedes Performance Series is going to be the AMG. Apparently, the AMG can be slapped onto most vehicles, just like the M can be slapped onto some vehicles. But the only Mercedes worth souping up is one that is already geared towards being a high performance vehicle, and that's going to be an AMG. I don't own an AMG. Therefore, my car, if I threw money into it to make it more powerful and all the other stuff, I'm basically going to create a death trap that I will die in. That's the reason why I don't do anything with mine. That's the reason why I keep it as stock as possible. Even the radio on the inside is still stock. But what I'm going to do is go in here and I'm going to advance my search a little bit. Way down there. That's where you put it. Make and model. There we go. Cadillac. There we go. And there it is. There it is. CTS. Cadillac CTS. So this is what I want you to consider. I want you to consider not the Mercedes, not the Volvo, any of the other stuff. If you want an electric vehicle, the most bang for your buck is not going to be any of the Europeans. Although I love European cars, I have one right now. It's really nice, but I do have issues. I got a leak. I got some electrical issues. I can't really work with those. I'm just gonna let it ride. One guy said, drive that car until it does not drive anymore, until it falls apart. I want you to look at Cadillac. Now, if I was in a situation like you, where I had the time, I would find a Cadillac CTS. CTS. Because this Cadillac CTS, in its coupe version, is my favorite vehicle. I don't care if it is a Cadillac. It looks like a giant wedge that's way too big for its size. It's just it's exotic. It's got a big ass. It's got a nice front. And that vector design that Cadillac came up with, this vehicle reeks of that vector design. The CTS does hold up the exact same styling. You know what? This is the vehicle that I would get, and that's the reason why I'm recording this right now. This would be the vehicle I would get if I needed 4 doors. Me personally, I would go for 2. I would go for 2 doors, but if my wife said, no, we're not gonna buy another coupe, you need to still have an all-wheel drive vehicle, I'm like, okay, honey, I feel you. I would turn around and get this Cadillac CTS. Number one, the depreciation on Cadillacs is outrageous. You're getting robbed if you buy this car new. Because the second you take it off the lot, it's dropped 50+%. 5 years down the road, it's worth less than $10,000. Like I said, you're getting robbed if you buy this car brand new. And this thing has, the one I'm looking at, it's nice. Oh, and you see, right here, you can see there's a sag in the seat a little bit. Somebody's been farting in this seat. Somebody's been farting in the seat. You do get your 4 doors. That's exactly what you're looking for. And another thing about 4 doors, I want my 4 doors if I need a 4-door. But in the front seats, I want a freaking console. When you're driving in a Prius, you get a console. When you're driving some of this little Prius here, there's a console in the middle that you can put your arm on and everything, okay? I want that in every freaking vehicle that I get my hands on because it feels comfortable to do like this. That's a comfort thing. I don't lean back in my car, I really don't. But the CTS in a V6, 3.6 liter V6, might be what you're looking for. The vehicle will come in can come in all-wheel drive. It will be an automatic. That's the way I can conclude this entire video. I know you want me to try to look around and see if we can find, what is my advice on getting a European luxury vehicle. I don't think that's what you want. No. I don't think it's what you need. I think what you need is keep some dollars in your pocket, a vehicle that can get you around, a vehicle that has luxury features that you actually like. You want the heated seat. You want the sunroof. You want all the buttons you can mash. The Cadillac's going to give you that. The Cadillac's going to give you all of those features that you're going to find in the BMW, all those features you're going to find in the Mercedes and in the Audi. The catch is, you're going to have an American label. But take in mind, Cadillac does have some unique qualities. That vehicle that I was talking about, that coupe, some parts of that vehicle, I believe the braking and a few other, no, it's not the braking. It's something that Cadillac turned around and gave to Ferrari for one of their vehicles, which I thought was really odd. But apparently Cadillac had some kind of intellectual properties on something that Ferrari needed for their vehicle. So it's one of those weird things where, yeah, you got a foreign car, but you got some American tech on the inside of it kind of situation. So it's my advice, Look into the Cadillac. I'm looking at a 2009 Cadillac CTS 3.6 liter engine. This thing does have 150,000 miles on it. Take in mind that you should be able to bring this here up to another 50,000 and hit either 200 or even more. When you get your hands on it, change those tires. When you get your hands on it, well, before you get your hands on it, investigate that car a few times. Go and look at it. Look at it in the daytime for sure. Bring somebody with you. You might be able to bring me, depending on what day it is. You're driving. I'm not driving. Get a cell phone and drag that cell phone underneath the vehicle to see what it's like under there. Do all the ghetto stuff that you need to make sure that you're walking away with a decent car. If you're satisfied, get an oil change ASAP. Full synthetic. Full. Not half or whatever. Full synthetic. Brand new tires. And any other maintenance issues that you need to handle right then and there. And let that vehicle just roll for a year. And if you're happy with it, you're good. Remember, most of these dealers that are out there, they're more than likely going to give you a 6-month warranty or a 1-year warranty or anything in a freaking lot. In other words, buy the car from us and don't say anything bad about us for a year. That's basically what they want. They want to make you happy for a year. And then after that, you're on your own. That's kind of the way that dealer was with me, because, the dealer that I work with, because, I'm very vocal on the internet when I feel that I am being wronged. So I'm never going to go to that fishy place and buy another vehicle from those guys ever again. But I have learned a lot from that experience. A whole lot. It's a lot of video footage. Yeah, the one I'm looking at, it says it's got a clean title. You gotta make sure you have a clean title and not a salvage title. You can't have a salvage title, because if you have a title that is listed as salvage, you may not be able to put it on the road. Keep that in mind. Yeah, you're not gonna get great gas mileage out of this vehicle either. They tend not to have it, but you know what? You're not getting the greatest out of what you got anyway, so you'll be fine. And before you purchase this vehicle, make sure that you get a Carfax or something like that to get a history of what that person before you did. What those Carfaxes will have, they'll have every single time an oil change is done on that vehicle. They have to report that. They'll also say this person had that vehicle, or not person, but it went from this company to that company to this company. It went from this state to that state. There's a history of what's going on with this vehicle, so you can go find out. What was it? With the vehicle I have right now, I had them go under my vehicle and look at my drivetrain. I was like, can you take a look at my drivetrain? Because there was a message that the drivetrain had been swapped out at some point. At 24,000 miles, my drivetrain had been swapped out. And I was like, that's kind of weird. So when I went to Mavis, I was like, can you go in there and just take a look at my drivetrain? And the guys were like, we just got a question for you. How did you know the drivetrain had loose screws? I'm like, I don't know. I'm saying I don't know, but I knew up in that report there was something listed in there. And they were just shocked. They were like, this thing will probably driven a few thousand more miles before it just fell off. And I was like, whoa. Divine intervention does exist. I don't know if I have enough. I don't even know if my freaking phone is still recording or not. But that's the end of this video.
So that's the first kind of erratic maneuver that we've seen all day on this pursuit, is passing that guy right there on the shoulder, then forcing him over into the right lane here, and speeds over 110 miles an hour. And they're passing County Road 3520 now, going eastbound on I-40, Carl. And I go guess we ever found out why they're in pursuit of this car. Have we, Carl? Now, Carl, we're coming up to County Road north-south 3540. The trooper car took over from the trooper SUV because I don't think he just didn't have the oomph to catch that car. We're running well over 120 miles an hour. So the trooper car, which can stay with his car, he took over. He's the only one. They're leaving the SUV behind. He's about the only one that can get up there and catch this car. And he's pulled up behind him. And now we are rolling down the road, Carl. And like I said, we're still eastbound I-40. We'll be coming up to north-south County Road 3550 here. The next major intersection that I see that we're coming up to, Carl, is going to be 177. So we're going to be going eastbound I-40. We're about a mile and a half from 177. So we will see what happens. There's nobody at the 177 off-ramps here or on-ramps. So we'll see if he's going to continue eastbound on I-40 when we cross 177, or if he's going to try to get off on 177 here. Like I said, we're just now about a mile from it, and still traveling at a very high rate of speed, Carl. We're still doing 110, 120, and that trooper car is right behind him. Okay. He's taking 177, So we'll see if he goes north or south here, Carl. We're slowing up. Okay, now he's taking the shoulder around traffic. Okay, he's going to be going northbound. He's going to go northbound. I'm going to be making a circle here. I'll try to make a flat circle so we don't lose. Okay. There he goes. He tried to get back on westbound I-40 from 177 here, and that's where he made his mistake. The trooper was able to pit him just as he come around that curve and to stop this pursuit here. So again, when he come off I-40 eastbound, off the 177 off-ramp, he come northbound to try to get on I-40 going back west, and that's when